started. Does anyone want to get out?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special live stream where we're going to be streaming the panel. Get your predictions in. This is going to be a good one, but let's not waste time dilly-dallying. Let's get them in. First off, we got my good buddy.
Master Kent, you said you'd come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
Hey, Taladia, how you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing well.
All right, let's get the next person in. This man, his power level is literally over 9,000.
Master Chief.
I pressed the wrong button. That one is on me. All right. The bringer of the heat himself, Jay Heat. What's up, buddy?
Flame on. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you. Good to see you.
I'm pretty good. So
I think we're missing one more.
I think so. I think the person who really put it all together. I think it's time to bring her in.
Hey guys, hopefully you guys are well.
The queen herself has arrived.
Hi everyone. Hi. Thanks for that intro. That's a cool video. I hadn't seen that before. That's awesome. Thank you.
That's from House of the Dragon.
That's so cool.
What?
Thank you.
I figured it was so appropriate because like you are our queen, you are a Snyder queen, and I'm always calling you our queen, so it just felt perfect, like the perfect intro for you. I just hope you like it.
I do, thank you. When you said Game of Thrones, I figured you were gonna use like Daenerys Targaryen, so like that's
that
cool.
clip was just so good. It was just really good. Alright, so let's kinda go through these comments. First off, let's just kinda put this on the screen so that way we know. Hey Danzing, hey Mark. Oh, Spider-Man, we got you here. And am I haunting? Yeah, I cannot wait either. So, I hear we're here to talk about some sort of league. So, first off, the thing I want to talk about, what does this all mean to you? Like, what does this whole Zack Snyder's Justice League, and what is this movement, what does it mean to you? I think we should start with ladies first. Snyder Queen.
Oh my god. I mean, the movement, it means everything really. Like, this is like the culmination of like years of fans like coming together and pushing for this and demanding that these movies be made. What I've said a lot is like this weekend is a celebration, but it's also a moment for us to like come together and like be heard, be loud.
Do you know anything about this, Snyder Queen?
Huh?
On the screen, he's kind of covering your face. Sorry. Mark asked, "Hey, can you ask Snyder Queen about the potential leak on the TV screen at 21 minutes at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League? Was there a Zack post like that? Is there anything any like pertinent to that? Like,
I don't know about any sort of like TV screen leak or something."
Yeah, he asked it, so I figured I'd just kind of like pass it along. So, obviously, we know what the movement means to you, but what do these films mean to you, my queen?
What do the films mean to me? Oh, I mean, they mean a great deal to me. Like, I've like they are literally peak DC, and it's what sort of like these movies are what really cemented Zack to me as like just an incredible visionary director. Um, like I'd watched Owls of Gahul beforehand, but I don't know, like his Justice League arc, it just speaks to me in ways that like no other movies do really. He took some of the characters that I hold dear and he brought them all to life, and it's just like, yeah, I find it difficult to put in words because like they just mean so much to me.
Master Sergeant, how you doing? Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, there's a bit of a restreaming going on. Claudio wanted to restream on his channel. Normally I would have allowed restream, but I'm on the free account, so I can't do that because I'm poor. So I told Claudia he can just kind of stream it like this. So yeah, that's and yes, restore the SnyderVerse, indeed.
And before we go any further, I just want to go ahead and get this out the way. I've always been
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, this is getting serious.
mm.
So Santa Queen, is there anything else you'd like to say in this kind of general topic before I move on to the next verse? I didn't want to like cut you off.
No, fine. I think I was done.
All right, so let's just kind of go from the bottom up. So, Jay Heat, what do both the movement and the movies mean to you?
Well,
oh, Jared. And hey,
Hi,
Tabby,
Jared.
how you doing, buddy?
who said Super Sons? Somebody in the chat. Hold on, let me look at the chat right now. Somebody said Super Sons. Come on. Who was it?
not me.
Who was it?
Not me. Nobody in my chat said it
But,
as well.
but-
Just saying.
But all jokes aside, all I'm gonna say is that I was very surprised by this movie because I was in my mid to late teens when Man of Steel and all that came out. I was very skeptical, but what Snyder was able to do with these films, it brought DC in a new direction that the higher ups just didn't have the balls to take. They just wanted to be cookie cutter, copy the Marvel formula, and write off that. Now, there's nothing wrong with following trends and seeing where the market is. But when you chase trends and you're not prepared for a paradigm shift, that's where we get into a problem. But all in all, Snyder has always been treating the situation with class. He didn't lash out. He didn't badmouth on Twitter. The guy's a class act, so I can't take that from him. I can't.
Yeah, I swear, if you were to have like a Venn diagram of like directors, on one end you'd have Zack Snyder, and on the other end you'd have Josh Trank. Josh Trank is an example of what not to do as a director in these kind of situations, and Zack Snyder is like the paragon
Ideal
of like how to handle these situations. It is like you could not have more of a night and day difference. Like seriously.
I agree. And yes, and this is just the way of the business, whether it be directorial, whether it be executive, whether it be by the marketing team, sometimes you get screwed over and it happens for better or for worse. But the best thing you can do, especially with the rise of social media, is handle the situation with class.
Yes, and Zack Snyder, he's just a paragon of class. Like honestly, I mean, we all know. I'm pretty sure the choir here, he's awesome. We all know that. So I don't need to like go for 5 minutes about how awesome Zack Snyder is. We all know that. We're all here for this.
Yes.
So, Jay Heat, what do the movies mean to you?
The movies, to me, they were more like Snyder tried to copy what Christian Bale and his team tried to do with having these characters in a realistic setting, in a modern setting. Because what you got, and I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. What you have now with the Snyder movies is just as much of a post-crisis adaptation as you got in the DCAU. DCAU was a bit toned down because of censorship, but the mentality, the characterization, Superman's grudge, his paranoia towards supervillains, it's all there. It's all there. If you actually read post-crisis continuity New Earth comics, it's like right off the panel. Now, he did go a little too far with Dark Knight Returns, but I think that was a studio decision more than anything. But other than that, Jared, a little on the nose, buddy. A little on the nose.
All right. He's not here, but he's
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Fuck off, Blood.
Jared,
they
you
showed-
deserve that. Sorry.
They didn't show the Green Lantern scene. It was just the normal Martian Manhunter scene.
Oh.
Zack Snyder is the most comic accurate director.
Yes, he's the most comic
Oh,
accurate.
I say that.
Yeah.
I say that. I'd agree to that.
He's the most comic accurate um, comic book adapter that has done comic book films for a long
Now,
time.
granted, there you don't have to do a page by page all the time,
Mhm.
but it's more like sometimes in situations the source material can be a set of guidelines.
See,
But
here's my take on like I think the accuracy of Zack Snyder's adaptations. I feel like people kind of undersell just how accurate they are because like not only is he accurate in like the look, but also the tone, the feel. Because like look at DC's approach to comic book costumes versus Marvel's. Marvel's be like, hey, we added all sorts of lines. Doesn't it look great? While I feel like Zack's costumes they more so add texture. Like for example, look at his Superman suits. They are beautiful, but the lines are pretty much classic. Also, Kevin, we'll be getting into our predictions. I just kind of want to get through the motions. Taladia,
Mhm.
what are your relationships with both the movement and the film? Like, what does it mean to you?
Well, the movement means a lot to me. That's the first thing. Uh, like Cells that is jailed to Netflix means a lot to me because it's a positive message.
means license.
Yeah, means licensing means also means a positive message, and we're only having what's the word? Only having sending a message to Netflix and nobody else. But also with the films, it's like I get to relate to Superman in a big way because Superman is like one of my favorite superheroes of all time. So I really relate to him, and like to see his journey from Man of Steel to Zack Snyder's Justice League is epic. And it's like that's why I'm just like I was like super pumped to once they announced it. I was like, yes, we're finally getting to see his Zack's version. So and like everyone in my chat is talking about the fact that it was amazing to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, and everyone in my chat, hey, what's up? And but also, guys, I also say this with with this SnyderCon 2023, I think this is probably one of the most impressive things going to date.
Mm-hmm.
To date,
I agree. I agree to that.
with all
Yeah, and then oh, sorry. Were you finished?
no, I was gonna
Claudia?
I was just gonna say
Okay.
a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
I was gonna say that with all the money that's been raised, it's for awareness for suicide prevention. Remember, guys,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't this isn't about the fans think. Just remember, it's about the awareness because that is the main key point of the donation. So you guys make sure if you haven't donated yet, make sure you guys do donate to AFSP over on their on
Hey,
Vero and
if
whatnot.
someone can grab me the link, I'll post it in the chat and I'll show it on the screen. So if someone can grab the chat, post in the private chat, we'll handle that.
Yeah.
And then if any of you guys in the comments got the link, just please feel free to drop the link and I'll be happy to share it.
Sammy's already posted it in the private chat.
Oh, someone's on the ball. All right. So as for myself, what I would say about this movement is honestly, it feels like I found my people, found my community, really. And then here's the link for the this. Please donate if you can. Zack Snyder is basically kind of a director to where, yeah, you'll kind of use heat. The movement is it's basically I found my people, and the Snyder fans honestly are some of the nicest, most kindest, passionate people I've ever met. You guys care so much, not just about these films, but about the people in it. Like so many other communities are just full of toxic, just people, and in the Snyder fandom, I found none of it. I found a group of people who cared, and I found a group of people who they just wanted good films. They're passionate about it. They didn't tear anybody down. You guys aren't cultists. We aren't cultists. We are a family. All right, full Vin Diesel, whatever. And as for the Snyder Cut itself, I think it's probably the greatest comic book cinematic achievement yet, ever, whatever you want to put in there. I just was speaking full from my heart. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate that. Yeah, me too. So the stream can start any minute. So let's just kind of get our predictions in. Let's kind of go rapid fire. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go shoot for the moon here. Zack Snyder on Netflix, or at the very least, the Emerald Cut. Taladia, what do you think?
I think they're gonna announce the Emerald Cut, or potentially the announcement of the Netflix movement, or sorry, the cell movement to Netflix, which would be incredible because by the way, we have made a million. It was a billion, right, Sammy? For the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 million tweets and we've done now
Yeah.
since the movement began.
Yeah, since the
That is nuts.
Which is
That is
incredible. Especially when a lot of people in the movement don't really like, some people are like wary of moving on from like restore the SnyderVerse to like sell SnyderVerse. Like, so there is that, like, there is a bit of a rift there, but I don't know, for the most part the majority of the fandom is pushing this forward. And
Also-
yeah, we hit 1 million.
Ooh,
Right, also, I just want to say
Go on.
before we continue, this is the most people I have had watching my stream ever. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Also,
How many we got
before we-
watching?
Oh, what?
Oh, there's like 40 watching. Let's go. Awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, real quick before we continue, I want to get this done before we do the stream.
yes.
Moment, can we have a moment of silence for Autumn, please? Thank you. I just wanted to kind of do that to give you, like, to remember why we're here. Hey, Warzone. Master Sergeant, of course you are. Hey, Warzone. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of say why we're here. But Taladia,
Yes.
are those your predictions?
I also think the Rebel Moon. That's another thing. I think.
Okay.
Definitely. Definitely.
I just want to give everyone a chance to do their predictions. Jaheed.
As for me, the Emerald Cut is definitely likely. There's going to be some kind of tease for Rebel Moon those two at the very least. And I just want to say I was relatively indifferent. I was kind of disillusioned after the whole executive that shall not be named. But ever since I've collabed with these guys and my channel has grown, I've been the SnyderVerse. All of you guys have just been a great support, a welcoming community, all the same. And I am almost at 150 subscribers just from the past couple of days alone. So I am truly humbled, and I am grateful for my brothers here, my blood brother, Kid Takeoff, and just the entire Sammy and the entire all you guys, the whole community. So I am truly
That's
blessed and
awesome,
humbled.
Jaheed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats.
And then, Snyder Queen, what are your predictions?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that we're gonna hear something about Rebel Moon, but like, I don't know. Maybe we might get like, I'm not expecting like a whole like, here's a slate, and then it's just like boom, lots of movies. But like, you know, maybe we might get some hint of like, oh, you know, like, who knows? Like, who knows what's around the corner? You know?
Yes.
If the head of Netflix walks across the stage, I will literally lose my shit.
I'm expecting the Trinity to be there though.
Oh! We got one. We got one. Oh, what did you expect? But hey, whatever. So yeah,
They just want attention. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I just my opinion with trolls is you greet them with mockery, they don't know what to do. But yeah, so I'm linking Jay Heat's channel in the chat. If you could please give him a follow. He is a great dude, and he brings the heat just like his namesake. And yeah, So just so that I'm sure, this is where I should be, right? In terms of
Yeah,
stream?
this is
I think so.
it'll be on this page, and if you refresh at 1:30, I think it'll be a little bit late because they're still haven't finished up. They're still gotta set up
Oh,
everything.
J-Heat, I think I'm your subscriber number 150. Congrats.
Oh!
Tease to keep pushing. Yes, Super Bro
Oh,
Quarry.
as far as
Awesome.
the sun shining, like it's twilight where I'm at. I'm Eastern Standard Time right now.
It's
so.
nighttime here, so
Definitely. The sun just said it where I'm at. And I have officially hit 151 subscribers. Thank you so much. Oh, the show's starting. Let's go.
Let's do this. It's happening.
I mean, it might sit like this for a little while.
yeah.
But
It's cool. Don't worry about it. But yeah, congrats on hitting 151 subscribers, J-Heat. That's awesome.
Thank you. And thank all of you.
Claudia,
Yeah.
link me your channel. I'll share yours as well here. So.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, the sun has long set where I am. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Oh geez, you got dedication.
Thank you for your time, Snyder Queen. Thank you for your time.
1 second.
And thank you, Osha Fresh, as well. Thank you.
Osa.
There you go.
Osa.
It's in the chat.
All right, so let's see here.
Hi TJ. Hi Danzig. Hi everyone. Hi Jared.
Yeah,
All right, so
real talk.
I'm posting the link to Zlatia's channel. So if you're watching my stream, please give Taladia a follow. He's a really good guy. Does really good podcast into the multiverse, and just yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah, I gotta get J Heats. Okay, so I'll put J Heats and the Nick's channel in my chat, guys, that you guys are watching on via OBS. So I'll.
Wait. Before we do that, I have to do this. So I have a comic book coming out this Friday on Indiegogo called Turner and Samurai, and that's the link to the sign up. So if any of you guys want some cool comics, please consider signing up for the project. It's like a cyberpunk samurai kind of thing. I just wanted to get some promo in before the stream starts.
Yeah.
But anyway, Lottie,
yeah.
Lottie, you're saying.
Yeah. So that is in my chat now, guys. I put Nick's link in there, and I'm gonna be putting J Heat's link in the chat, guys, now as well. Please help support these two guys on YouTube. These two amazing content creators. These guys do great work in terms of what content they're doing, especially Nick, because he's got a comic coming out. So if you're into comics and you love reading indie comics, yeah, and also support Snyder Queen on Twitter.
There are no feds here, just fans. So you're good, brother.
Yeah, and I also make sure to get Snyder Queen's Twitter handle as well, because I know she posts a lot of things.
All right, let me just grab hers.
Thanks, Taladia.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll be tweeting.
You're tweeting a lot, so.
And guys, before we go forward, I can't stress this enough. If you are able to, please donate to this cause. It's a great charity. This is the main reason we're all here. If anything happens tonight, so if you are able in any way, please donate to Full Circle and AFSP on behalf of us. It would be greatly appreciated.
Also, here is the link to Snyder Queen's Twitter. I feel like most of you are here because of her, but for the few people who aren't, please consider following her.
I also put link to Sammy's YouTube page as well in my chat right now, guys. So make sure you guys do check her out.
Hopefully, Dominique. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed we get Netflix. That's the one thing we want is Netflix tease, right? Because if they tease that, because remember, Zack Snyder says after the event, he's gonna explain all the little hints, Easter eggs that he left in the poster for the what's it called?
Yeah, that's something as well. Like he should be talking about the poster tonight because like he said like he'd do it after the event.
Yeah.
Are we
if
gonna
James
literally
Gunn
leave
walks,
this event still not knowing?
imagine if James Gunn walks out and he says,
Why even bring his name up?
Yeah, why bring that? Why you say that name for?
Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
No. This clip is directed at me.
Fuck off, God.
Here we go.
Oh, let's go. We're live. You got no audio?
No audio.
We got no audio.
Nick, we got no audio
Nick, no audio.
on our end.
Oh,
Go to
snap.
go to present. Share audio.
I
Then-
thought I had done that.
It's okay, man.
It's on out in the world from now on. You just have to go.
All right. Got you now?
Yep.
Yep, we're good.
So
Oh.
I'm your moderator.
I don't even
today.
have one of those shirts. Do we also? How are we doing on the? How is the stream? It's up. Okay,
It's
very
up.
good. We're
Oh God, we're on the air. Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. My name's Ray Porter. I thank you.
Woo!
I'd like to do some introductions, but Grandma needs her glasses. I would like to introduce to you the additional editor, Dodie Dorn.
Yay, Dodie!
So wave up to everybody over there. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. VFX supervisor, DJ Desjardins.
DJ. Legend.
DJ.
Our writer, Chris Terrio.
Yes.
Our incredible director, Mr. Zack Snyder. My dear friend and a damn fine actor and the soul of this movie, Mr. Ray Fisher.
Yes, it is true.
Oh, Cyborg in the house.
And we have one final person to announce. Brilliant writer, brilliant director, brilliant actor, and I think the finest Batman I have ever seen.
Oh!
Ben Affleck!
Ben Affleck's here.
God, that's amazing.
Yes.
Justice League 2.
Nick, calm down. Calm down.
This is hype.
We have a. I think we have a sharing mics in our small.
That's we'll share.
Oh
let
shit.
him scream a
Oh
little.
shit. Look at his face. He looks so nervous.
Thank you very much. That's very nice.
He looks
I
so
don't exactly
nervous.
understand what you're saying, but it seems positive, so I want to say thank you.
Positive group. Home team. Home crowd.
So I'm meant to kick this off with some questions from the Vero community. I'm going to read those out, and then we're going to just, I guess, basically open up to questions, discussion, whatever.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right. So this first one is from Matt. This I'm assuming is to Zach, not to me. The work you and Chris Terrio accomplished in BVS and Justice League was simply brilliant. Do you have any plans to collaborate with Terrio again in future projects?
Well, if Chris would have me, of course. It's always a, it's
Oh.
always a question, just of like, you know, he's a busy man, so you know. Look, I love Chris more than anything. He's a genius, so yeah, of course I would love to work with Chris anytime he wants.
What's he gonna say? I'm sitting right here. I hate that short little motherfucker. Yeah, of course I collaborate with Zach. And, you know, we'll be fine. Of course.
This is from Stephen Mark Monteith. What other new gods characters did you plan to feature in the JL movies? Because I don't like being alone. And how much development would they receive? We saw Granny Goodness, so would we have seen the Furies? What about the other members of Darkseid's family?
Yeah, for sure. All of them. I mean, he had to really get an invasion force together, and I think he was going to, like, you know, get his own.
It was going to be a Christmas album, too,
Yeah,
right?
really beautiful. And a special. Yeah, I think the answer is
For sure.
See,
yes.
well, the Furies
say
for
something.
sure. We talked about that a lot.
I'm going to say something here, Zach, which is that the great chatter about the anti-life equation, you know, how did look to Darkseid lose it as though it were his keys. But we would have taken that up in the second episode. We would have understood some apocalyptian betrayal, some palace intrigue that would have explained how that all happened. So if ever a miracle happens and more of the story is made, we'll understand more of that. If there was a plan there.
So the last Vero question is from Dylan. It says, Cyborg's vision depicts Kilowog dead at the site of the Hall of Justice, but he's not with the Nightmare League in the sequence at the end. Is this implying the existence of numerous Nightmare timelines, with the one we see in JL2 just being the final one where Barry successfully activated the cosmic treadmill to warn Bruce in time? Or was it just something you thought would be cool?
That's pretty fair.
Is the volume
Pretty
loud
fair
for anyone
question.
else?
Yeah.
No, it's
Say-
fine.
It's super low. Like I can hardly hear it.
All right,
the
what should I
one,
do then?
You know, in the Flash
Huh?
movie where he sort of has all those visions of the future.
I
That
know.
I think is more impressionistic.
Maybe
than
turn it up a little bit.
You see
It's up as loud as it can on this end.
in the final sequence. So I think that that's probably the answer. Is that he's
Website.
seen. I would
Check
say
your
above
system
four
settings.
future
I don't know.
Actual hard reality in that one.
How's that? A little bit
Well,
better?
I would like to
A little better.
give the most time
Yeah, thank you.
to you guys as far as questions and things like that. Now, did we have mics set up, or am I being Phil Donahue literally and running up and down there? Okay, cool. I just have to be me. Oh, God, help us all.
Oh, no.
Yours was the first hand up, so yes. As long as you can be heard.
Should I stand or sit?
Stand.
So thank you to all the panelists for being here. You've done incredible work. My question is for Chris and Ben. Here. So Ben, you were brilliant, Pierre d'Alençon, and you're the best Batman. So just my preface. So your version of Bruce
Mute your
Wayne
mic unless you're
approaches
talking, please.
radicalization into this pathological jingoism, and then de-radicalization to which he then has to navigate the aftermath of what he's done. And then for Chris, your writing in these films is incredibly politically dense and layered. You've got false flag operations, false testimonies as war propaganda. And, you know, I appreciate your advocacy for whistleblowers in the story, you know, given what's happened to other journalists who have told the truth. So for the both of you, how have these big political topics informed your creative process as storytellers in these films?
I'll let you begin then.
So starting off with an easy one. That's cool.
Well, there's a thing that Bruce says in BVS, which is if there's even a 1% chance that he could destroy the world, then we have to treat it as an absolute certainty. And that seemed to be something that was happening in the wars of our time, right? There was this idea that there's an axis of evil, and if there's even a minuscule chance that there's going to be a suitcase nuke in New York City, then we have to treat it as a certainty and we have to make war. So that idea that was going through Bruce's head was informed by everything that we were looking at in the world. And so we self-consciously wanted to ask that question. And then also politically, when you have the character of Kahina Zirian, you know, intervention in Africa, that's a thing that Superman has done traditionally, right? Superman intervenes, and there are clear good guys and clear bad guys, and then truth and justice save the day. So that was another thing that we wanted to kind of complicate and say, well, what actually happens when Superman intervenes? It seems like he's intervening to save Lois, but what other lives are affected? Superman says about the danger to Lois, think of what could have happened, and she says, think of what did. Pointing at all the stuff that happened in the village. So that was another conscious thing, not to try to make Superman a villain or to say Superman is wrong, but just to say it's a little more gray and complex than maybe traditionally has been, at least in the films, has traditionally been presented. In some of the comics, there is a lot of shade of gray in Superman and his work.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I love about working with Chris and have since I met him and got to know him, is that he operates as a screenwriter on a lot of different levels simultaneously, where you have a plot story that's very key and paced and makes sense, and you have character stories that are connected and compelling and interesting and nuanced, and oftentimes there are thematic corollaries that don't impose themselves and stand out in front of the movie so that it's a screed or that it's didactic, but rather it's kind of marbleized into those two other elements, so that if it's something that you're interested in, if it's something that resonates with you, it works on that level. Additionally, if it's something with which you're about which you're not interested or aware, it sort of goes by, and yet there's a kind of I've always get the sense with Chris that the plot is sort of if the screenwriter is the cat burglar breaking into the house, the plot is sort of the meat that's thrown to the guard dogs, while the themes kind of break their way into the window, so to speak.
We don't know if there's going to be an announcement, but we're hoping there will be.
Yeah, we're hoping there should be an announcement.
Way back yonder, black T-shirt, third row in. This is no good. I need like a laser pointer. What is this going on? Raise your hat up in the air. You had a hat in your hand?
Yeah, the one with the cryptic symbolism on it.
Yes, sir. There's a microphone nearby. Yeah. Is there no mic over there? Oh, dear.
It's a black shirt.
How loud can you be?
I'm so glad that Batman showed up. Batfleck.
Yeah, me too. It kind of leans like maybe something will happen. I'm really hoping.
I think so. Last time it was Henry. This time it's Ben.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, guys. That's what I think.
Listen, that's a good question. I think it's fair and it's exciting. And look, I love the world, and obviously, I've not put a small amount of effort into into this mythology, and we have done not also a small amount of work toward what the eventualities of these scenarios might be. As far as I've had an amazingly my experience with you guys and with this material has been incredibly satisfying, and I couldn't be happier with the way that you guys have been able to dig in. We always talk about, like, if you want to go deep on these movies and on this mythology, it's there for you, right? And so, yes, would I be interested in whatever medium or whatever way these ideas would continue? Of course I would. But yeah. But yeah, in the meantime, we forge ahead and we do what we do. And so
he's not saying no.
like that. But yes, Thank you. But I love this world, and I love these guys that I've gotten to do this with, and it's been amazing. So
He didn't say no. He did not say no to that question. He was very
They're
dodgy. He
jumping
did
up
not
and
say
down.
no.
Yeah, there is a mic down here. Come down.
That
I
is
got a
true.
good question.
can we judge the
As
question?
opposed to
then?
what?
I have one question, and Ben Affleck, you're the greatest Batman ever.
Yes.
Facts.
Mr. Snyder, looking at that post-credit scene with, Deadshot, what was the plan for Batman's Ben Affleck for that story?
There was a whole elaborate plan, which would take up too much time now, and some of which I may have forgotten. But I always liked that character and talked to Zach about that, and I think there's my plan for continuing on in this character. At a certain point, I got to and kind of found that I thought I wasn't really, I just felt like, well, I wasn't quite sure if it worked or jived. I felt like if you have a character like this and you kind of take that on, you want to go forward, you better really be sure and understand it and be confident. And certainly as a director, you kind of have to be the last person interested in the movie when everyone else is really bored and doesn't want to watch it again and is sick of it, exhausted by the whole process. And I have held myself to this kind of metric where if I'm not really sure I see the precise location on target that I want to hit, I'm not sure I can hit it, but I want to at least know exactly what I'm aiming for. But there's, as all of you,
I don't think so, Dominique.
A spectacular array of characters in this universe, and also I think they are ultimately like. I know that we sort of become like attached to them as exist in these particular forms, but I think of watching Zach stuff and whatever he does, I find interesting and enjoy this kind of manifestation of his work. And so, and with Chris, you see people's, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be wearing one face to tell an interesting story. There are certainly, a response to this gentleman's question, there are a lot of different ways to do that. And so I don't get too wrapped up and fixated on that one thing, or at least that's the way I soothe myself.
Also, I want to point out that, you have, this is such a brilliant visual film, and the pacing of it and the tempo of it and everything is so incredible. And we have DJ here and we have Dodie here. Does anyone have questions for them? Yes, here in the white shirt. Loud.
You can tell Ben really cares about the character.
Yeah, you really can.
Like,
honestly.
so deeply.
Sure, they have
What
the real
did I just
answer,
say?
then.
All right, yes.
Shh.
Agreed.
You're going to have to just be loud. Oh, you're coming through.
Hello, guys. Oh my gosh, this is cool. Zach, how close are we, and will we ever be able to get to see that John Stewart Green Lantern deleted scene?
Well, would I ever be able to? Listen. I don't have it right now. There was property was returned, but it does exist. You won't say anything. That's cool. I know you won't. Of course. Wow, it's only live. Turn off the cameras. But yeah. So I would have to say, look, I think just me saying Wayne did an amazing job in the little scene, and I really love him. And it was nice of him to come over to the house and shoot it with me. And he's an amazing actor, and so yeah, he's a cool guy. But yeah, as far as seeing it is, I don't know when that will ever happen. But never say never. So of course I already have it.
Never say never.
So no Emerald Cut, but notice how he actually
Yeah,
definitively gave
I
an
will
answer
try
for
to.
that,
There's a mic over
but
there
not
now.
the Snyder Cut.
Fantastic.
Notice the
Make your
difference.
way over to the microphones.
Why does he keep saying never say never? He said that like 4 times this weekend.
Yes. Do you want to get on the mic or no?
But notice how with
Okay,
the,
not loud.
the
We
Snyder
were
Cut,
partying last
he
night.
didn't
I'm
even
supposed
say
to repeat
that.
everything, right?
He was
Last
very
night.
vague with the Snyder
Come on.
Cut. But with this, he was definitive.
So this is an editing question because, like you were saying, the pacing on this goes wild. In more ways, you have these incredibly somber moments that
scenes you sort of let play out, and then you have flash sequences that do these various crazy some odd things. So from an editing perspective, what was sort of going through your head in order to sort of evoke various emotions of whether it's excitement or these crazy applause moments that you'll get from the entire crowd?
It's a great question. Yeah. So the question was about the editing and to like, what's like going to make it really evocative, essentially. Within yes.
Yeah, that's actually both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well, that sequence especially that he's talking about, I mean, the flash running back time sequence you're talking about is per se, or whatever. Across the board.
Our inspiration was Cher, right?
Mostly.
Yeah. You can turn back.
If you could turn back time, you guys have heard the song.
That's what I thought. There, go, Dodie.
Well, no, I have to say, and Ray introduced me as the additional editor because I was standing on the shoulders of a very great editor, David Brenner, and amazing man. And then we had Carlos Castillon keeping it safe and warm for the time when Zach was away from the project, and I was lucky enough to come on and be the one to help realize his unicorn, bring it, let it get born. So many of the scenes were already formed when I came on, and I mainly worked with that material, and that's why I was trying to throw it to DJ because that particular scene already existed when I came on, the time warp scene.
But the time warp.
Amazing.
Well, the time warp.
Amazing.
Okay. I agree. It's amazing. But my memory is it existed because, can I say that? Because we made it exist alongside.
Yeah, it wasn't
a version of the movie where it didn't exist.
It wasn't supposed to exist. Like, of course, we had a big, argument. There was a time when the discussion of whether or not to have Flash run time back was a big, the studio didn't want to do that bit. There was but anyway, so it was difficult. We had to manufacture, it was almost
Absolutely.
where I had said, look, let me show you it.
Oscar chair moment. Like, why did they cut that?
They said, okay, cool. And well,
they were confused.
No comment.
They were confused. Yeah, there was a lot of confusion. But regardless, I mean, I think the good news is that we had luckily we had shot enough material of Ezra running on the treadmill and doing his thing. And,
Yes, they are.
saying those lines about, Dad, I'm one of them, that whole thing. We had that. And thank God we did, because there was no way we could have manufactured that, but it was good that we had.
And we post-viz the whole thing for you. So that's what you got when you came onto it.
Right. Yeah. And I have to say, it's very, very emotional material. So we let it play as emotional, which is an interesting create
Sammy
emotional in the
Sammy won't be able to see your message, Retro.
because it is an but you have to
Just because I'm using OBS to stream, not StreamYard. So just saying.
that was what we
But I'll let her know you said hi.
That mean time's up?
The bar is closing, I guess. Or I don't know.
I'll have a double martini.
Yeah, we got to be careful because Super Mario's coming in here any second, so we got to be ready.
Make mine shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, thank God.
Dun, 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 dun,
Retro
dun,
said
dun.
hi, Sammy.
No love to this side of the room. Well, God.
Hi, Retro.
Gentlemen, right there. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm full screen on this stream.
I cut that.
He's asking about the Joker.
That's cool.
No problem, Retro Nerd Girl. Like I said, I'm using OBS to restream this because Nick hasn't got the ability to
You're not talking
restream.
about the Jesus Batman, just
To
Batman,
co-stream,
or
so.
the Jesus Joker, just Joker in general. Yeah, no, there was these guys were on a mission. It was a kind of a mission movie. moment or beginning of where like it was like a buddy picture, where the where the two protagonists were like at odds and they had to like work out their differences over their travels across the country. No, but I mean, in a way, that's what you could see. In some ways, that's what they're on about. They're on this little journey. And I guess for me, one of the reasons why I wanted to do that scene was because I felt like, I was really happy with the way that these two guys, that the Batman and Joker in that scene, and it's only a little taste. I just felt like it was rude for us to have gone through this entire sort of DC universe with the two characters that should be, with each other at odds, I guess, having not really coexisted on film in that way. And I had in my mind wanted that to be part of the movies as they went forward. And I just really felt like this scene was important, for this universe. And Ben
Hey,
was
Mikey.
gracious enough to
I got Mikey
come
Sutton.
do it.
What's up, Mikey?
Hi, Mikey.
Put on the cape one more time.
Mikey, we got Batman here.
And Jared also.
We got Mikey here as well. Welcome on in.
It was awesome, and it took some convincing, but it was really fun. It was fun to do this a bit,
Yes, you had one. Here.
It's an honor to have you here, Mikey. Thank you,
thank
for
you.
joining us.
Yeah, just so you know.
Hello, everyone. My question's for everyone in this panel, including our gracious host. My name is Carlos, and I just want to say thank you all for doing this. The foundation we're supporting, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, that's a battle I've struggled with personally. And these movies, the stories you've directed, the characters you've emboweled, the things you've written, edited it, and just being a part of in general.
Yes, Mikey's not only in my chat, but he's in Nick's chat as well.
Fans. These stories speak to us, and even though we can't fly, we can fight, no matter who we are. And I just wanted to ask you guys on a personal level, for every one of you, it could be a sentence answer. On a personal level, how do you feel knowing that you're part of something that gives hope to so many people that really need it?
Good question.
It's the greatest honor of my life to be here, to be a part of this, to be included in this, to be a few people's nightmares and all of that sort of thing. It is and has been and will continue to be just absolutely the greatest honor. And I buy every T-shirt that ever comes up for AFSP, and I hope you do too.
I guess for me, we do these things, we make this giant thing, but then to have it have,
Hey, Richard, girl, how you doing?
I've had the pleasure of having like a lot of, interactions with people who I get to hear their stories and get to understand what they've gone through, just like, has it impacted our families. And, so that sharing for me is incredibly moving and really lets me know that there is not only is there work to be done, of course, but being proud of the work that we are doing and the progress that we are making. There's always it's a hope thing, and I think yep. And I think that is that for me is incredible, again, amazing honor. And I love that you guys enjoy the movie, and then I feel like it's the smallest thing I can do for, because I really, love the outreach that everyone gives, and it's amazing.
I can take both mics. To mimic what's been said, it's an honor. It is, and it's also a great responsibility. I think for me, I've learned a lot.
I love this man's
from
voice.
Playing this character. I've learned a lot from the people that have supported this film. It's the culminating phrase that I think encapsulates it best is, I'm not broken, and I'm not alone.
I love that phrase. That phrase means so much to me. Like, seriously.
And
I love it.
in myriad ways, you guys have shown me and one another that you are not alone, and that anything is possible when you put the collective together.
This
to be
isn't
able
going to
tackle
come
the
close to what James Gunn has got
And so,
coming
for
up.
anybody out there
So,
struggling, for those of you who are struggling now, for those of you who struggled in the past, for those of you who may know somebody who is going through it, just please do your best to iterate and reiterate to them that they are not broken and they are not alone. And make sure that you direct them to the resources like the AFSP that exist out there. Thank you for everything you guys have done.
Thank you very much for what you said. I have a lot of admiration and respect for the bravery it takes and sense of self to stand up and talk openly. I think that's extremely helpful and good. And thank you. And both any association with an effort like this is an honor, certainly. And kind of a similar way, I could sort of look at my own life, in a lot of different ways. But the truth is, I'm old now, right? I've done 55 or 60 movies. But the movie the character that people most commonly approach me about, in my own first-person experience, is undeniable as this character in these movies. And it clearly has an enormous reach and impact on people. It means a great deal to people. And that's, I think, the only appropriate reaction to that is a sort of gratitude
yeah,
and
not
humility.
broken.
Gratitude that I owe Zach for bringing me into this project, for Chris, who wrote, Ray, and everyone who worked on this, and to the fans who, without whom it doesn't come to life. And I appreciate and hope it's true that these like kind of fables, these stories, that can in ways sometimes we're not even aware of, be moving and meaningful to people. And if that's the case, I would just say I'm humbled.
It must be amazing to be part of these films. Like they've touched people and touch people's hearts in ways that no other films have.
This film, every
Yeah,
single one of the major
agreed.
characters is dealing with loss. Everyone, Lois,
Agreed.
Martha, Diana, Arthur, Barry, Bruce, and so that became the important heart of the film, of how to take in loss, take in the darkness that's trying to pull you down, and to answer affirmatively and to fight back, fight back against it. So all those things, I'm grateful if anyone feels them, because they were deeply felt on the end of us who are making it. I mean, you can't make a movie that has emotion in it unless you have sat alone with those characters and with those thoughts and figured out some of that stuff for yourself. So it makes me really happy if it lands anywhere. So thank you.
I guess for me, I just feel lucky to be asked by my friends Zach and Deb to be a part of this, and the whole journey getting to the end of the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, and the effort of that work. It's emotion. It's very emotional, cathartic. I wish we could do more, because I think there's a lot of story left to tell.
Me too.
But the thing that I kind of take with me is, and everybody's efforts through this organization, is my first time yesterday being on the panel and meeting a lot of you afterwards, and I'm inspired by you guys being inspired by what you've done.
I approve.
Like Ben said, it's a very humbling thing, and something that I think was unexpected for me as a personal note. So thanks everybody for paying attention.
Real talk. I was just thinking about that the other day as well. Yesterday.
But
That's funny.
go ahead. One of the things that I was doing was restoring a lot of things for Zach that were very important to him in the film. And
Thanks for coming by, Jesse.
Coming back to the concept of life affirming and acceptance and
I will, Jesse.
where the little girl
Hashtag release the air cut. Let's go.
I want to be like
Release the
you.
Schumacher cut.
She says You can be anything.
I
you
like as well. They got a trending event coming up soon.
Is something
You should be
I,
there.
I'm sorry to
through
hear
and
that
Yeah, I should.
Strange Marvel.
I will talk
very,
later.
very life affirming.
Cool.
And for me,
I'm
as
sorry
a
to hear that
collaborator,
Strange Marvel
it was very
series.
exciting to be in Zach's orbit and then notice all these badass women all around him. Badass characters, badass producers, badass first ADs, all women who are just embraced by him and really a huge part of the process. And I feel fortunate to be one of those half badass women.
Full badass. Full badass.
Hell yeah, let's
Full
go.
badass.
Half
Full
badass.
badass.
That's funny.
Oh, she's
Full
being
badass,
humble.
for
She's
real.
being modest.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing this. Is it a pink shirt? I don't want to offend.
Wonder Woman. It's Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
hello.
Agreed,
Yes,
Jesse.
please.
Look
Loud
at it.
or get on a mic. Ben.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Bubba. What's up, buddy? Oh.
There were a number of them that I was kind of exploring, and the plans were to, make interesting, nuanced, complex characters, and in particular for the character you mentioned. And I didn't really, I kind of feel like either you do, I'm just going to get into my own preference here, but either you do like a kind of massive kind of one villain that is so formidable, you just can't imagine how it is that your protagonist is going to be able to overcome it, or you have to sort of really populate kind of these Justice League, these big group villains where you get to have all of these characters. So I was at the time really trying to kind of hone in and focus on that character and get into depth and detail about it to make him seem as impressive as I felt like there was the opportunity to do. And other than that, that's the only detail I have for you.
Oh, blue balls.
Way back in the back there, in the back corner. Is that that corner? Back corner. I'm seeing. Yes, hello, you. Yes, hi. I think a mic is probably a good idea. Yeah.
It would be helpful. I haven't heard many of the questions.
Student in film. This is the question for you. If you could go back and give your younger self advice, what would it be?
Oh.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, no, I got it. He said, what would I do if I went back and met my younger? What would the advice I would give to my younger self? Like my art center self?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I mean.
Yes, he did.
Look, I have no regrets, and I feel like everything's gone, the experiences I've had, and it's hard to say like, oh, if you did this, everything would go much better. And yeah, I'm sure there's advice I could give to my younger self that would make things be smoother sometimes. But the bumps are what make you kind of who you are, and so you need it. So it's hard to the idea of telling yourself to do something different is kind of then you're not you. But I would say though, but just as advice for a young film student, of course, my advice is, you are the thing. Your point of view is the commodity that you have. The way you see is no one else has that but you. And so, however you exercise that, do it to its fullest. Don't be afraid of it. Don't shy away from it. If you think it's weird, doesn't matter. It's cool. So that to me is the thing I always say. You're the only you there is. So I want to see what you do.
That's sort of reminiscent of what Ben Affleck says to Barry in The Flash, where he's like, our scars make us who we are. We're not meant to go back and heal them.
Yeah.
Yes. Loud as you can.
Or maybe that's enough.
Or, yeah. A couple of show tunes, contrasting monologue. Yeah. I don't know.
Who knows, Sean?
Shout it.
Who knows? But I think it
Nope,
could happen.
shout it.
I think we could be getting some more
Oh,
information.
now you're on.
More SnyderVerse.
So he didn't have a question. It was right.
No question at all.
Yes, hand that to our friend over there. Yeah, there you go. Good
All
job.
that, and we didn't even get a question.
Does anybody not have any job related?
Excellent, yeah.
You know, yeah.
I don't have any
Please
work.
hire me, Zack Snyder.
Oh, this is so rough. I'm trying to be like equal. What do we got here? Waving furiously in the white in the center in the back there. Yes.
He did a really good job, honestly, in those films.
You know, I felt really welcomed and really invited pretty early on in the process. I knew things were going to go swimmingly when I showed up for my test for BVS in Detroit. It was around Easter, and I hop out of the SUV, and you know, I'm a little bit nervous, right? It's my first test for anything, really.
No,
and,
Sean.
I hear a voice behind me go, "Ray!" I turn around, it's Zach, and I go, "Yo, Zach!" And we just take this elevator ride up, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is a dude like me. Okay, cool." We chopped it up about comic books, granny goodness, all the like nuances of like really just silly and geeky stuff. And I was like, you know, I feel like I'm amongst my people, if that makes any sense. And so by the time we got into filming for BVS, you know, Zach, he was like, "Hey, you want to see what we're shooting today?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." And so I ended up meeting Ben during that sequence where they were, was it the graveyard sequence where the bat pops out of the mausoleum? They were filming that. And so I ended up getting to meet a lot of folks before we even got to set together. So it ended up taking a lot of the edge off for me because I'm like, oh, you know, I meet Jason for the first time. He picks me up and he just bear hugs me. And I'm like, okay, all right.
That sounds
this
like
guy,
what
all
he would do.
Got to meet Gull. Got to meet everybody except for Henry beforehand. But, you know, I will say across the board, everybody was really welcoming, really gracious, and just really excited to be there and get the work done. And I think it all trickles down from the top, you know, just in how those environments get established. So long answer short, I felt more than ready because, you know, folks believed in me to do the job that I was there to do.
That's awesome.
I love that man so much.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sir, right here. Loud as you can. Question for DJ. What were the challenges with the Batmobile shooting the parademons? What kind of challenges did that present?
Well, I mean, in some ways it was easier than in BVS because in BVS, Patrick's Batmobile could actually drive around and do stuff for real. So we were anchored with a lot of reality there, but we couldn't go to
Jared.
off, and because we were in London shooting, so that ended up being pretty much a virtual sequence, except for some stuff that we shot with Ben in the cockpit of the thing. And when Jason Momoa jumped off of the Batmobile,
I
he
love
yelled
that
out loud,
moment.
"Momoa!" as he jumped into the sun So yeah, it was. That's not in the movie, by the way. yeah. So we should have. And also too, I think we like labored forever in. Actually, we were doing pre-production on that sequence while we were shooting, so it was really difficult. But we labored forever on how to get all those major beats right for that chase. And there's just a lot of previs for it, and that rolled right into a lot of virtual production right away. So it was very challenging to make it look real, but I'm satisfied with the way it came out because it's pretty fun. Yeah, just this shot, just a little sequence alone of shooting the smokestack and it falling over, and then how to roll and crush all the parademons, and
that movie lets us skid
I hope
around
so.
and face backwards. It was a
Simple things. Like
yeah, it
that.
was a lot of like it was constantly I was like, oh no, then it ends up going backwards. Okay, that's cool.
Well, he's going to be in a film with like Samuel L. Jackson and a few other people, isn't he? Like his career's going to be amazing.
I thought we
It
had a
will
little
be.
model, but maybe we didn't. Oh no, it's me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good name.
At
Or
Dawn of
Dawn
the
of
Dead
the
again?
Dead.
Oh, another one. Sorry, I'm just kidding. By the way, I love that movie. That's one of my favorites. I love Peckinpah. You know, he's one of my film heroes. Wild Bunch is a great movie. I think they did recently do a remake of the Wild Bunch. Did they not? Is it still? Is it still?
It was.
Oh, so maybe they haven't done it. So yeah, we'll look into it. I'll ask them.
Have you thought about Toxic Avenger?
Yeah, oh nice.
A Zack Snyder directed Toxic Avenger.
Remake the God. I'm hearing some amazing things over here. Yes, standing there like the Statue of Liberty. Yes, sir. Yeah, right on. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Obviously, it was very convincing.
Which Project Strange Marvel theory? Which one? JL2 and
Daredevil
a New Day? Sorry, I mean
You
New
know,
Gods.
this
Let me
part
know
is
in
a
the
unique
chat.
part because so many excellent actors have played it and filmmakers have done it, and the mythology extends all the way, down through decades after decades from this the Adam West TV series and the cartoons and stuff on up to it's really amazing films and art about it. So it's much more daunting in a way than because the other stuff you do, anything else you do, if you're doing it for the first time, there's nothing else to hold you up against, compare you to, there are no expectations. You have the liberty of just going out there and sort of defining it, better or for worse, when people see it. There's a double-edged sword with a part like this because you have a lot of tailwind and people have a lot of goodwill and enthusiasm around these characters that have existed in our culture for a long time, but also they have a lot of expectations. So I definitely spent a lot of time sort of thinking about it and angsting about it, but all the performances that I ended up being able to sleep at night around it came down to actually sort of what Ray said, and Zack creates an extremely comfortable, fluid atmosphere, and I think for me as a director, that's the most important thing that I try to do. I don't think I can succeed, or actors can't succeed without that, or at least they can't as good as they can possibly be. And Zack is as good as anybody, if not better, that I've ever worked with at creating that environment, which is extremely important to feel like you're welcome to succeed. So it took away a lot of the thought, because the thing about preparation is they say you just have to you do it and then you have to throw it away, and the throwing it away is so that it seems lifelike, obviously natural, and kind of lived in. And Zack made it easy for me to do that. So thank you.
I will say, as an actor, having a safe space to play in is really important, and I experienced that not only with Zack, but you won't remember this, Ben, but you directed me in Argo.
How could I forget?
I'm the PA that brings in John Goodman.
Ah,
and even that tiny role, I felt like I had room to play. So thank you.
Oh, that's good. Thank you very much.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Now they're having time to think of stuff.
Now they've had time. Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you were on a desert island, right? Oh my.
Ask the question, man. We're all waiting.
Thank you, man.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
Who do I pick? Red cap in the back.
You're the master of ceremonies.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Damn.
Red cap. Great voice.
Too kind.
They're liking what they're hearing.
I mean, for me, I have a real, I don't know. It's been my experience that I just go like, I pretty quickly, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the person. Like, that's the guy. Get that guy. Or like, I see a casting tape and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And I feel like my gut is probably the best. And I know it's stupid, like, oh, my gut instincts are like, anyway, I know, but it's not really very helpful.
We got Mama
else.
Bear in the chat. What's up?
But yeah, I mean, I feel like, the casting in this movie.
Hey, Mama Bear.
Hey, what's up, Mads?
Across the board, these guys have done, obviously, even just we forget that, like, at the time that the movie that we put the movie together, pretty much, these guys, like, Ezra, I just was like, Ezra's cool. I just want Ezra to be the Flash. It's like that. That was kind of how I did it. Like Gal, I was like, oh, Gal. We tested a bunch of different actresses, and Gal was just, and from the beginning, I was like, I want Gal. And they were like, okay, well, we should do, we need to see a bunch of people because, it's like a big part of Wonder Woman. And she's not like super big star or anything. And I was like,
And
okay,
hello
well,
to you, Mama
I just feel
Bear.
like it's right. And then we tested her with Ben. They did a little scene, and I was like, see, actually, what's cool is I looked at it the other day. There's like in the little video that we did in the little.
You say you looked at the other day.
I don't know if you remember this, but Ben, like, at the
Why is
end
he looking
of the
at
take,
stuff?
it was a one shot too. It was like over him. It was like we did it because whenever you do because it was before the film was made, and you don't want to expose yourself to the studio too much, right? And you don't want him to say like, oh, is this what it's going to look like? Like, I don't like this. And I'm like, it's not about that. We're just trying to do an audition. It's like any chance for them to not comment on anything but the thing you want them to comment on. You try to do that. So I was like, okay, we'll do this as one take, even though it's like starts out as a 2-shot. And it was in the little scene, it's like Gal's Wonder Woman is waiting for Bruce Wayne, and he's walking down a street. We shot it all on like a sort of fake set. It didn't look like a street, but it was like there's some cars parked around and whatever. And then he would walk up, and it was a 2-shot, and then it was a tight 2, and then it turned into an over, and it was just the sort of a single on Gal. And they were kind of talking about like, you got to stop drinking and all this like really intense stuff, and like, what's the matter with you, Bruce, and blah blah. She was really going at him, and at the end of the take, and the one good one, because it's on over Ben's shoulder like this, and Gal was here, and at the end of the take, he turns around and looks in the camera. He's like, okay, like, I don't think we have to do this anymore. And it was cool because like that's and of course the reaction was so clean that like I left it in for the studio, so they were like, "Oh,
I was an unwitting accomplice."
Yeah,
I remember that's the only time that's ever happened to me where I was like, "That's obvious."
Yeah, like what are we doing? Yeah,
there's nothing else.
Can I go home
Yeah,
now?
I've done that with the book.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was really cool. But like, and I think that those things, I guess for me, it's like there is, and it's impossible to say. I mean, it was just like when we were talking about Christina Wren during Man of Steel. I was like literally watching TV. I saw this hummus commercial. I'm like, that girl, I want that girl in the movie. So they, we had to track her down and like find her. But I think that I don't know. It seems I don't know how, but it just
An instinct. I mean, I think that what Zach's like maybe humble to say is that there's it's taste, right? Like, but those have told me about directing. And I always heard before I directed, there's like not the old adage is directing is 90% casting. And I was skeptical of that. And as years have gone by, I've become more and more convinced of it. And it is as you look at all these actors who Zach cast and how good they are and what they've gone on to do, it's a testament to Zach's taste. And his taste is very, as he says, intuitive. I don't know if you can learn it or teach it. He has a feeling. It's sort of what being like a filmmaker with a point of view is. As soon as he sees that thing, it bounces off him. It's very wonderful to work with somebody who's not clouded by bunch of other thoughts or opinions, or what are people going to say, or what are they going to do, or what are they going to say, or how many followers they have, whatever it is, immediately. And that's, he knows, and he has an opinion and a strong one.
I know I'm the same retro. This is awesome.
Whether good or
Yeah, this is really great, Retro Nerd Drill. I'm great to have you
You know
here.
what I mean? Both are fine. I just want to know. Let's not do 15 on dishes. You know what I mean? And do a whole circus. And that's one of the beautiful things about Zach and his process is that he is works by instinct and decisive and absolutely self-assured of that. And it's a very calming thing to have in a director. Okay, he knows where we're going, so I'm going to follow him.
Wow, wow, wow. Blue shirt right there waving both arms. Is this going to be the last one?
Guys, this is going to be the last one.
It's going to be the last question, guys. I'm so
Super Mario,
sorry.
you guys could stay for Super Mario. You can't actually stay.
They are throwing us out for Mario. So after the after this, it's going to be ready for the Armada. All right, so go for it.
After the stream, we're gonna have a discussion about what we just saw.
Yeah.
Nah, but he just said ready the Armada though. What?
I think he's dead. I mean, I love him, but I don't think he made it. He put up a great fight, though. It was awesome. Wait till you see DJ. It's pretty
Ben
good for
is
that.
wearing
It's
something
amazing.
under his shirt. We can't see it.
It's really, Mike. It's on a small scale, but it's incredible.
Yeah, there could be something.
One
under
more.
that.
Give him one more, quick.
One more, quick, fast.
The guy.
Yeah. Behind the camera. Yeah, go.
Jody.
That's what by the way, that's what Siri calls her when I ask Siri to come.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. First of all, working on an action sequence for Zack is completely different because it is so well choreographed in advance, and his stunt team actually shoots their version of the entire scene and gives it to me before I even have the dailies of the scene. So it's a very, very intricate process that they do, and I'm just trying to better them. So I'm assuming that's okay to say how well.
That's what we hope for.
Yeah, how well thought out it is in advance. But without that, barring that, I just take every single take and take I mean, a shot is probably a minute or less long, and I cut it down to the tiniest little piece that is usable from everyone, and I just press play and sit back and find the one that hits me the most, and then I put them all together. I mean, it's pretty much that. I don't want to say simple, but that's the process. And then afterwards, once it's all together, then it kind of, you can throw the cards up in the air again a little bit if you want, but usually it's very much, a lot of people think cutting action is easier than cutting dialogue scenes for good reason.
There you have it.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Again, thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate your support, and we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there we go.
All right, thank you, everybody. These guys are headed out, but as you guys know, we got a flip for Super Mario Brothers. So,
Well,
not what you're expecting, were you?
I mean, no, not really, but it was still a good show.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. At least they showed Ben coming onto the panel.
all right. Let's cue the copium, shall we? That's my bad joke.
No, that's
okay.
fine. Like, somebody watch that replay and tell me where the goodbye is in there, and I'll like.
Yeah. So stream's over. So okay, my personal takeaway is I think the most important part is when they ask him about about the Snyder Cut. Notice he is very dodgy. Notice how he dodges the question, and then but also you can compare that to when they ask him about the Emerald Cut. He's actually very definitive. My opinion. I think something's in the works. I think something's in the works. He can't talk about it. Like we also heard it on the BVS stream.
It was a Freudian slip, basically.
Well, no. Like the way he talks about, because like if you notice, Zach is very sure of what he talks about when he knows what he talks. When he's watching his words, he's very slow, and there's a lot more pauses between words. Have you guys noticed that with Zach?
Yeah,
Queen,
absolutely. It's like he's sort of trying to like navigate a minefield. Like he doesn't want to say the wrong thing because he knows how much the community like literally latches under his words, and like,
Yeah.
his words give us a lot of hope.
He was
so
very
yeah,
dodgy. He was extremely dodgy.
I will play devil's advocate in that they were throwing a lot of softballs, almost as if they were pre-scripted. I would not be surprised if there were like some flashcards in the audience, something along those lines.
I would not be surprised if all
Yeah.
the questions were pre-screened. I would not be surprised.
Yes. Like he said, never say never. That's something that he repeated himself saying, which makes me think after obviously give it a few days, and I think Zach will say something on Vero.
Yeah, I think also they may be saving an announcement for Comic-Con. Remember, San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner. I could see them saving this kind of announcement for San Diego.
I could see it.
I mean, San Diego's like what, a month
guess so.
away? Like
3 weeks actually.
Yeah, like this. If this event may have been like a temperature check to see like what's the temperature of the Snyder fandom, and I think the temperature is red hot.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Zach keeps
Real
saying,
Talk
like,
asked,
never say
when is
never.
Comic-Con? When do you guys
I
think
want-
Comic-Con is?
It's usually around mid to late May at the earliest, but Comic-Con's been very inconsistent over the years. Some years it's in May, some years it's in June. It just depends on the spot they got for that year.
Hey, Okay, it is Wednesday, July 19th through Sunday, July 23rd. So basically 2 months from now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there was like another event to come out because remember Mario. Did you guys hear that Mario crossed 1 billion? I'm just mentioning that. You know,
yeah,
just
That's cool.
That's cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah,
the-
this.
Sorry. I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say this did end early. Like it did feel like it ended prematurely.
Yeah. Another thing too,
Yeah.
Granny Goodness was mentioned a bunch. Strange
Why
Marvel
couldn't you
theories.
hear the questions?
I
Yeah.
really feel like the BVS panel
Too
was a
loud.
lot more
Quiet.
telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should have had someone in the audience running up to them with like a microphone or something. You know, kind of like Springer style. I would not be opposed to that.
Rest in peace.
A moment of silence to a mayor of Chicago and arguably one of the best TV shows of the 90s.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah. So, what's your takeaway, Snyder Queen?
I liked it. It was very like, it was sort of a very like personal and cozy Q&A. And you really get to see just how much these characters mean to these actors. Like what Ben was saying about how he like he has to know where he's going with the character. He has to be able to see like the end goal, and when that vision becomes a bit too blurry that he can't see it anymore, that he has to take a step back from the character. And that's like It just shows you just how much like depth there is to these actors' ranges and their performances. It's really
Yeah,
incredible.
I do think Ben Affleck showing up is a big deal because like Ben Affleck literally
Huge
taking the
deal.
time. Yeah, like that shows his confidence in Zack Snyder, which I don't think we ever really doubted.
Well, like
No,
he recently just said like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make a film in James Gunn's DCU," and
Yeah.
then now he's on Zack Snyder's Full Circle
My
Q&A.
my
Like
my
that speaks volumes, I think.
One at a time, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Ben Affleck has said on multiple occasions that he'd never show up again as Batman, and then he shows up again as Batman. I think he kind of says those things kind of in the heat of the moment, and then he kind of gets lured back and whatnot. So when it comes to like Ben Affleck saying he's not going to play Batman again, I always take those words with a grain of salt.
Well, I mean, he came back. Like he came back for the role. Like, how many times does he have to come back for people to realize that like he cares for the character and he will come back? Like
To an
under the right
extent,
circumstances.
I hate to cut you off, Sammy, but that's true to an extent. But at the end of the day, it's a paycheck. Deal has to be made with the higher ups and the studio tension between the marketing, the executives. There are so many other factors that go into that. He may like the character, but due to conflicting differences, he might have to retire his tenure. So it just depends.
Yeah, because basically the problem is we might be entering a situation where Warner Brothers has to juggle 3 different Batmen if they keep on Ben Affleck. Because remember, Patterson's movie potentially could keep going. They're going to be doing Brave and the Bold, so Gunn's going to get his Batman.
Yeah.
And then with Zack, so I don't think Warner Brothers wants to juggle 3 Batmen.
No, but but here's my thing is that Warner Brothers need to have money right now. That's the main priority. If they don't make money, they're gonna end up selling the company. That's the way it is.
Absolutely.
But that's
like
what
it's not about like what do Warner Brothers want to do? How do they want to juggle? Like they don't really have any choice, really. They created these versions of the characters. They created these iterations. They allowed fans to like resonate with them. Like there is a fan base for Keaton. There's a fan base for Batfleck. There's a fan base for Pattinson. And they're gonna in future create a fan base for the Brave and the Bold, even though it's not really gonna be a Batman, but that's beyond the point. So I think I don't know. I think there's a good position that we're in that we might still see Ben Affleck's Batman in the future. Like
there is still hope.
It could never say never, but I will say this: Gunn and his side wants as much corporate synergy as humanly possible. The Elseworlds are mainly a compromise for Matt Reeves and Patterson to at least get Batman 2 out the way. Also Joker 2, thank you. So that's more of a compromise than anything. Maybe if a deal could be made by the higher ups, but it would just depend. It would just depend.
No, but here's another thing too, right?
But it doesn't depend on James Gunn though. That's not.
Yeah,
really true.
I really think the big roadblock is James Gunn in all this, because Zack Snyder, I mean, if we learned anything in these panels, is that he loves this universe, and if he had the opportunity to do it again, he would jump to do it. I'm going to speculate here and say Netflix would love to pony up the money to have him do DC stuff. Like they would be more than happy to pay the money. They'd be more than happy to have Zack Snyder do stuff for Netflix. So I think on the Netflix side, they'd be more than happy. And Zaslav, I think Zaslav,
he'd be willing to do it because he's trying to get DC out of.
Yeah, because Zaslav is more about the money. Like if Zaslav, you told him like, oh wait, Netflix is just gonna pay us money and then they're gonna handle all the production and production costs. Sure. Like I think Zaslav would have no problem with it. I think really the big roadblock is James Gunn, because James Gunn is in his massive ego. He has to, blah blah blah.
But if you remember,
I disagree.
But here's another thing too. Back in the day, Marvel had to sell off their company too Remember?
The bankruptcy of 1991.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we'll see that kind of situation again because Marvel, like the Marvel of the 90s, was a lot smaller company than
Compared to
Warner
where it
Brothers
is now.
Also, the thing is, Warner Brothers is a bigger company. Was even at Warner Brothers' lowest, they were at least 3 times the size the company that Marvel ever was. Because remember, Warner Brothers rivals Disney when it comes to the IPs that it has under its thumb. Looney Tunes, like
Hanna-Barbera, Flintstones,
but
DC, they Warner Brothers is probably the only company that really rivals Disney in terms of IPs.
But here's the thing, right?
Yeah, I could agree with that, I guess. But I think, like...
But the way I see it is that if James Gunn's universe flops at the first hurdle, they're going to sell a company off to Comcast. That's it. That's the end of. David Zaslav will say, no, I'm not going to have any of that. I'm just going to sell off the company because what's in it for him? Like the DCU, if it flops, that's it. And they're already more in debt as it is at $250 billion.
And you got to remember the Discovery.
They're not $250 billion in debt. They have $49 billion. Okay.
One at a time, ladies and gentlemen. One at a time.
Yeah. Also, I would disagree with what you guys are saying. Really, I don't think the major blocker in the Snyderverse being restored. I don't think it's James Gunn because I honestly don't think he has the power level that you guys are really suggesting that he does have.
Okay. Then who do you think is? Then in your opinion, who do you think is the big roadblock then?
Zaslav. It's up to Zaslav if this thing continues or not. It's up to Mike Luca and Pam Abdi because they run the Warner Media Picture Group. James Gunn only runs DC Studios and he only has influence over DCU. If Zaslav sees a monetary advantage in restoring the Snyderverse, whether that be through Elseworld, through Warner Media Picture Group, or through Netflix, then I think he's definitely gonna think about that. You know, a lot more than what Gunn would.
See, here's the thing. In my opinion, the monetary potential for the Snyderverse has been shown time and time again. Like, it crashed HBO Max. Can you please not do that, Jahee? You're interfering. Sorry.
Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, but you're talking about advances that, achievements that have happened to a previous regime. What has happened under Zaslav?
Dune is doing the Dune franchise.
How is Dune related to Snyderverse?
Let him talk.
It's Warner. Dune is. You said. I'm saying. It's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but I mean, in relation to the Snyderverse, obviously, because that's what we're talking about.
Well, the thing I'm trying to say is, it has proven in the past that Snyderverse can make money. Maybe they release the Emerald Cut and use that as kind of a test to see the potential of the fan base. Because if they release the Emerald Cut and it becomes a big seller, because I imagine they don't have to invest as much money to do the Emerald Cut as they would the Snyder Cut.
Well, I would imagine they have to invest even less to do the AR cut.
Let's agree that they're trying to go. Let's agree that they're trying to go into a new direction, and they feel like trying to backtrack with the Snyderverse is not in their interest. Because remember, even after Sarnoff and the H Word have left, there's still a lot of bad blood behind the scenes. It's not Lucasfilm bad, but it's pretty bad. So I think we can agree on that much at the very least.
Yeah, it's just my problem is Warner Brothers and DC in general, they are really bad at sticking to a plan. We honestly, the Snyder Cut never went away. We've been in a holding pattern with the Snyder Cut for the past 5 to 7 years. Shazam 2 is and the fact that they're bringing Gal Gadot is in Shazam 2. The fact that a Snyderverse character is used as a way to get people
marketing
to come back.
tool.
the fact that Ben Affleck coming back as a marketing tool for Flash. I mean, Keaton is a big draw, but the fact that he's also there and they're using that just shows that the Warner Brothers knows the value of these characters and these iterations. I don't know.
It's just they can only do so much with the constant friction because again, there's just a back and forth of everything going on. Granted, it's not Lucasfilm bad, but it's pretty bad. When Warner Media allowed the Snyder Cut to be made for HBO Max, it set a precedent. It opened Pandora's box, because not only did it prove that these executives blatantly screwed up, but it also led to huge momentum for Warner Media. And they were going to actually kick it off going forward strictly as HBO exclusive. But Tommy Emmerich shut it down, got Warner Brothers sold off out of spite. A huge power vacuum ensued. It just wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I mean, that power struggle is still going on today, like behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's just everyone's all focused on the Disney Civil War that they're not noticing what's happening at Warner Brothers.
No, they aren't. Don't be that last fan that hasn't figured that out.
They're both Disney.
I don't know. So what do you guys think?
I don't know. Like, basically, all I'm trying to say is like, Warner Brothers are in a position where they're trying to reduce the debt. They have a goal to reduce that to about 41 billion by the end of this year. They were in.
Haverock said it. We got to play the clip. Haverock said it.
What?
No, he hasn't got a clip.
But like, I think like, I don't know, like, because Warner Brothers did judge a lot of like our interest in these characters and in this universe of Black Adam and like Shazam and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's how Gunn was able to like come in.
I mean, Black Adam was only really carried across the finish line by the strength of Dwayne the Rock Johnson and his ego. Like the whole reason that movie came out is because Dwayne the Rock Johnson was pushing for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think if he probably hadn't pushed for it so much, they would have probably canceled Black Adam. To be honest.
Yeah.
But like, when for like Black Adam got released, they pushed for Henry to come back. Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi were bringing back the cast. They wanted another go around of the SnyderVerse characters. Like, there was plans in place to revisit this universe and to continue it on in whatever form they were going to do that. So like, I think there is still like embers of that still exist within Warner Brothers, and like we know Zaslav is working a lot closer with DeLuca and Abdi now than he was with Gunn. Gunn's basically just doing his own thing. Like,
yeah, because like I really feel like as time goes on, more and more people are kind of coming around to like the SnyderVerse stuff. Like honestly, even in the past few years, we've seen a very hard reevaluation of Man of Steel. Like, people are really starting to come around to see Man of Steel and how good that movie actually is. There's I've seen I watched a video once where it's like a hardcore MCU person, and they watched Man of Steel and they were blown away. And I'm just gonna say this right now: Man of Steel, a film that came out literally 10 years ago, looks 5 times better than any MCU movie that came out this year. There.
Okay. And that segue, I'm just gonna rip off and said it. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. The main reason Snyder's vision got hammered as much as it was because everyone was copying the MCU template. Everyone wanted to ride the MCU bandwagon. Now that the quality's dropped, now that the paradigm is shift, the Snyderverse is actually given this time of day. It's actually being reevaluated. It's actually being watched. It's actually being acknowledged. And the momentum is there. Should a deal be made, especially at this time with Marvel failing, they would make bank. No one's denying that. But you're factoring Hollywood, clashing egos in general, shifting power structures, constant clashing even after Toby Emmerich and what he did. There's just too much bad blood in the water. That's like a bunch of piranhas.
But Jay, here's your problem. If they do this as an Elseworld, that it doesn't interfere with what James Gunn's doing, right? This is between Netflix and WBD, right?
But how do you
The-
just
in terms of
the
WBD?
only way,
WBD
it
gives
doesn't interfere from a production or a storytelling angle.
Yeah.
But it does interfere from an attention angle.
Yeah.
No, it
Because-
doesn't. What do you mean attention?
I
Like,
can answer that.
No. Let me cook. Let me finish.
Okay.
So, this is speculation. This is my crazy conspiracy theory. Is I have a feeling that James Gunn might not want this because, like, imagine if it comes out on Netflix, and of course everyone loves the SnyderVerse stuff. That will take attention away from what James Gunn is doing, and that's my crazy conspiracy theory. I got no evidence to back it up, just my own gut feeling. So feel free to hate me.
Well, I don't hate you, but I do disagree with you, and I will use
We're
the
right.
word
Go ahead.
directly of Warner
By all means, I invite debate.
What?
Sammy, you
Well,
have
Warner
the floor.
Brothers, Warner Brothers themselves said that more content is better for the DC brand, and that selling on other platforms like third-party streamers such as Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix only strengthens the brand, and that's what Warner Brothers are trying to do. They're trying to rebuild and strengthen their core brands like DC
And to be
Harry
fully
Potter.
honest,
Let her cook. Let her cook.
You know, so like, I quite honestly, I don't really agree with that, and especially if Netflix aren't able to secure theatrical releases, there's even less chance that Jimmy Pistol is not going to be in the limelight. You know.
Yeah,
exactly. Snyder Queen.
Here's the thing, I want that to happen. What you just said, I want to happen. I'm just doing my own speculation. I could be way wrong. I probably am. I'm just saying what I'm feeling, But I'm hoping what you say comes to pass. Like, I would love like a multiple release strategy and all that stuff. It's just people need to get their act together. I think we can agree on that part.
Yes,
I mean,
and
it's already happening for TV, so like hopefully it can happen for movies. Sorry, Jahit.
No problem,
Yeah.
Sam. I mean, I actually encourage this debate. Let's go ahead and have this conversation. But all I'm gonna say, okay, that was a different situation, Joel, but you're on the right track. But I'm just gonna say that first of all, despite Sarnoff, Hamada, I'm probably gonna get the clip for this later, and the sickness that went down, you still have, from a commercial standpoint, from a brand standpoint, from a consumer standpoint, a fundamental fuck up of this caliber once the Snyder Cut was released. Hardly anyone on God's green earth would openly admit to that bad of a screw up, let alone on a corporate level in Hollywood. They wanted the Snyder Cut as buried as much as humanly possible, even to the point to where Toby Emmerich was actually altering numbers to get the acquisition sold off to Discovery. There's just
Agreed.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying a deal is impossible. If Zaslav really wanted the cash, if he really needed the momentum, if the debt got bad enough, a deal could be made. I'm just saying there's going to be some stubbornness all across the board. There's still going to be some bad blood, and they're going to be stubborn about it. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm gonna say.
Well, the thing is,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lady.
I was gonna say. I think in the next few days, like maybe next week, sometime next week or the week after, maybe Zack Snyder will say something and give us a hint of an announcement of some sort of what he's got planned in terms of DC, if he's still continuing on with DC, because the way I see it is he hasn't moved on. He still wants to do DC content, and you can even tell by Ben Affleck his passion for the what he was saying. He's not moved on from Batman, and Ray Fisher as well. He's not moved on. So it's like the way I see it is these guys aren't going to move on. They want to play these characters, and they want to continue to do DC content, right? And the fans want it. The fans wanted DC Snyderverse. That's a fact.
Yes.
And the amount of people have been asking for is over a million people have been asking you to put it onto Netflix.
Thank you for that, Snyder Queen.
And I use this analogy all the time. You have what you got now with Disney Star Wars compared to the prequels. Now, the prequels got bashed ferociously because of nostalgia bias. But now that you have a arguably worse product in comparison, they're looking back. Oh, maybe the prequels weren't that bad. Maybe too political here, maybe too childish there. And of course, the generational gap since the original. But as an overarching story, it wasn't that bad. And it actually contributed to the saga. Sequel trilogy was just some corporate cash grab mess that barely contributed to anything in context. It tried to do something different, but it crashed and burned miserably. Oh, I'm sorry. Mark, what was that comment?
Oh, he said the way Zach danced around the question definitely gives hope, but WB and Netflix are taking way too long and not capitalizing the attention Snyder is getting right now.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Zach doesn't like Zach. He is definitely dancing around the.
What's up,
the
Super Bro Corey?
questions.
What's up?
Hi, Corey.
Yeah,
he's definitely
well-
dancing around these questions. Like, and he doesn't want to say too much. But like, yeah, like this whole Snyderverse event, like this whole full circle event, is a testimony to how hyped everyone still is for the Snyderverse. Like, you know, like 5 years after the jail film came out, like 2 years after Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League's come out, and we're still hyping these movies up. We're
I
still
would
talking
be-
about BBS. We're still talking about Man of Steel. The argument's still happening. Like
I
the
would be
event
very
sold out in 3
interested-
minutes.
I would
Crazy.
be very interested to see the stream numbers. Like, how many people actually watched it on stream? Like, how many people watched the panels? Because
There was thousands of people watching.
Like I want to I hope it's like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 10 or hundreds of thousands of people were watching. Probably
Even if-
definitely more in the tens.
Even if this amounts to nothing more than cheap publicity and a last hurrah, this showed some impact about the community, about what Snyderverse fans really want, what casuals want, and this will definitely lead to a precedent in the coming days. I can't guarantee what Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery are going to do about it, but this left an impact. This weekend definitely left an impact. I will concede that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Jared, you watched the Snyder Cut 13 times. Why am I not surprised?
And
That's
this
a
is
rookie
and this
numbers.
is, and then and this is his response after watching it number 13.
I regret nothing.
So
I was looking for the nerd clip, but I couldn't find it, so that was like my backup.
But it's like.
By the way,
go on. Sorry, Sammy.
Oh! What TJ said.
By the
is
way,
actually very important.
Man of Steel, the watch party for the first day has been watched over 30,000 times on YouTube. And that was uploaded yesterday. So like, I don't know.
Guys, I want to highlight this comment.
Oh yeah, TJ said it as well.
Remember, Pam Abby and Mike DeLuca approved this event, so I don't think it's
absolutely.
like I know been very doom and gloom, but I feel like
Y'all are being doom and gloom. I'm fine.
I'm happy.
I'm
Well,
chilling.
okay,
I'm having a
okay,
great
fine,
time.
Miss Wonderful Ray of Sunshine. Fine, be positive. I want to be sad.
Well, I mean, how can you be sad when you've got like Zach went
Exactly.
on stream and he was just like saying thanks to Mike and Pam and then said like, oh, and who knows what that could mean for the future. And then
I
he
was
keeps
being
saying-
dramatic.
And he said
I
never
would
say
say never
and never say
and-
never multiple
yeah.
times, and you know I'm still excited because I know like the future's gonna be great, right? So I'm not sad.
Yeah.
It's just these two
I-
are a little bit.
I had
I think
people on
it's safe
Twitter
to
being like, oh, this is a goodbye, it's a farewell, but like I didn't see anyone say goodbye or farewell anywhere there.
I honestly think. All right. What is the plan?
Could
Oh,
be.
Mamba Bear's got your back. So, yep, TJ definitely delivered the facts. Yeah, I kind of feel like we're going to see something at Comic-Con. I think
They'll definitely, if anything happens, they'll have a teaser at the very least by Comic-Con. They'll have something.
Oh!
We gotta play the clip. We gotta play the
Jared,
clip.
Jared, you have earned yourself this.
Fuck off, God.
Wait, hold on. I think I got one more. Should I play it?
No.
No,
Okay,
no.
Remember, I'm the one who controls the buttons. So
Okay.
So I want to bring this up, right? I think this event was a success, I should say, without a shadow of a doubt. At least we raised awareness for suicide prevention. That was the key focal point, and as well we got great stuff for the Snyderverse because they told us the stuff that behind the scenes that we never knew about, like Zeus becoming
Exactly.
Like, the Zeus and Ares stuff, like, and plus the Robin stuff as well. It's like we never knew about this stuff. This would have been epic if this was put into the film. Right.
Yeah.
And Taladia is because of this event that we were able to hit the $1 million dollars donated to AFSP International.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what the Snyder community has done. Like since the Autumn Foundation was set up.
Thanks to you guys. Thanks to you guys.
So and by the way, Jay, you did gain a new subscriber. One of my viewers actually said that you gained a new sub. So.
Oh, congrats, man! Thank you, thank you, thank
I
you,
think we're like at
everyone.
157 or something.
Yeah, 157. Thank you,
Let's
guys. I will
go.
definitely do a celebration video in the future. I haven't decided whether it's going to be a stream yet, but I will do a celebration video.
So, but back to the Snyderverse, I think we're gonna be getting like cryptic stuff, like maybe tomorrow or the day after or something, and then
So
it leads up to it.
Yeah, Snyder Queen. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, what's your prediction on like how the rest of the year is gonna go? Like, what's your predictions?
Like honestly, I still think things are cooking. Like I still think things are happening behind the scenes. Like too much of, like they say, you can't forget what you heard and saw just because you heard something new. And it's like, we have to remember everything that we've heard going up to this event.
So I have a live action recreation of Zack Snyder talking to Walter Hamada after the new stuff comes out and it's a hit.
You didn't see that coming?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Mama Bear subs to you. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. I am truly humbled and blessed. Thank you.
TJ actually points it out. 1 million tweets. That is an accomplishment.
All you, Snyder Queen. All you.
Oh, all us. Like we did that. I didn't do a million.
The
tweets.
community
Shit.
did it.
Like,
The
I know I tweet a lot, but like
it's the
But
community.
yeah, no, like thanks, but like we all did that together.
Yeah, it's like the community pulled together, rallied together, and we sent a positive message. That's what it's all about. It's not about, being negative. It's about being positive and sending a strong message.
Absolutely. And JJ Edwards is saying on Twitter that Skywalker the Jedi asked the question I was going to, but yeah, Zack is interested and we should keep fighting. Like honestly, I think that's absolutely right. Like Zack is interested still. Like I don't know how many times this man's got to get up on a live stream and tell us to like that how much the world means to him, how much the characters mean to him, how much he would love to finish his story and stuff. Like honestly, like I still think something's cooking. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the celebration.
I gotta do this. Can you smell what the Snyder is cooking?
No, never
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Never do that again.
Yeah.
Can you smell what the Snyder is cooking?
Let's go.
That is an affront to every 90s kid that is watching this stream.
Hey, you're the one dressed like a wrestler, so.
This is a basketball jersey. What are you talking about?
The sleeves. I'm sorry. Like I'm just.
Wrestlers don't wear shirts.
Here's another thing. On my channel, the Batman says, "Remember, Superman Legacy has been delayed due to writer strikes." That's another factor.
Oh, what a shame.
Okay, yeah, that is actually a very important thing to mention. The writer strikes are like the writers' negotiations are coming, and that is a factor that we haven't talked about.
Because he needs those ghostwriters.
Well, Zack doesn't, but Gunn does.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Gunn. Well, I mean, Zack's not writing Superman Legacy, is he? Though.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's actually. I got a scenario to play out. I got a scenario.
All right. Get our tinfoil hats on, everybody.
Feel free to call bullshit on this, but what if, because of the writer's strike and it's like, so Zach, you know how you had that Justice League 2 script there that's been sitting there for like years? Since directors are allowed to polish up scripts, could you do Justice League 2 on Netflix for us so that we have something to put out because the writers are striking? Please, Zach!
It won't be done like that. It won't be the way you did. It won't be done like that. It'll be in a proper format.
That was a dramatic reenactment. So
okay, all right. I'll play up your scenario. Please write this script for us, please. Because when these people break, they will break. It's going to be either their stocks or their stubborn or their egos. It's going to be one or the other.
As Osha said, right? The script is ready. Is ready to go for JL2 and JL3, right? We know that what they're setting up is going to be even bigger than what Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League was.
If the Superman Legacy production gets shut down and like all the other DC movies get shut down because they don't have a working script they can use, and they're like, let's go with Snyder because at least he has a script that's ready to go, and that is I feel like that's a very possible situation.
But that's purely a combust worst case break window in case of emergency scenario.
Snyder Queen, what are your thoughts?
I think Warner Brothers almost at that point to break that glass. To be honest,
break the glass,
But I don't expect any film from DC Studios to be cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to put that out there. Like
the glass,
whatever.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say whatever slate is being developed at this moment in time, I'm sure will continue development. But I think Warner Brothers are in a very serious, and quite unprecedented state right now, in where they are aggressively acquiring these license agreements and these these sales, as it were. Like you've got a lot of TV shows that are being currently licensed off to like Amazon Prime and stuff. I don't know. Like I think the J.J. Abrams Superman.
Cape Crusader.
Huh?
No.
It's called Cape.
No.
Wait, that what?
JJ.
Oh! You mean the Black
Crusader is the Batman animation.
My fault.
Oh, you mean the
No, you're
Black
good.
Superman
J.J. Abrams is a producer for that as well, so no, you are kind of right on that. But what I meant was
Coates one?
I meant the Ta-Nehisi Coates one. I think there is rumor that that's going to be merged with the Val Zod project, the Michael B. Jordan movie.
Oh god.
And if so, like, that might find its way on Amazon because like Michael B. Jordan's got a good contract with Amazon, so it would make sense for that project to end up there. Especially after they went after Lord of the Rings and stuff.
I swear, if Michael Shannon, if they do that, they better bring in Michael Shannon, for that, at least to kind of have a cameo in it or something.
Maybe.
I just feel though when it
different universe though, so I don't know.
Also
plus it's Val Zod,
yeah.
I mean Zod. That's what I was saying, General Zod.
Yeah, but I was talking about Val Zod.
Val Zod Superman is from Earth 2, Nick.
Yeah.
But isn't he the son of Zod? I'm a bit ignorant on this.
No, you're confusing him with Chris Kent, who actually is the son of Zod. It's a whole separate thing. I think that's just a naming convention.
All right, then it turns out I'm an idiot. So.
Yeah, you need.
There's 80 years of lore. That's understandable to get things mixed up. There is a lot of lore with DC.
Yeah.
By the way, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Here's the thing you gotta understand. Superman premiered in 1938. We are 15 years away from the 100th anniversary of Superman. Let that sink in.
That's insane.
It's 2023.
It's not 1938 anymore.
I'm sorry.
Castaneco.
I loved that. I loved it when he said that. That was like a great moment. That was a great call out.
Oh, it is.
Also, my favorite. I'm sorry, but like my favorite Lawrence Fishburne Perry White line is, "In other news, water wet."
And Dominique, unless Guardians 3 flops, firing James Gunn isn't going to solve anything. And I'm like, monstrably flops.
I don't think James Gunn's going anywhere.
No, James Gunn won't go anywhere.
I think here's what I think's going to happen. If Guardians of the Galaxy flops, which we don't know, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it flops. Okay, I don't think James Gunn is going to get fired, but I do think he will take a confidence and reputation hit. Like I do think there might be they might be a little bit less confident in him. So it's going to be a hit to him at the studio, but they're not going to fire him. But they will be less confident in him. I think that part I'm sure of.
I think you are right. Like, although I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to flop. It's going to underperform from what their expectations are, but it's not going to flop.
My opinion is it's going to have a great opening weekend because of momentum Guardians 1 and 2. I've heard it's not good, but the opening weekend is going to be amazing. I guarantee you that. I'll guarantee you it.
It's going to be like... Sorry.
Huh?
I was spinning what I was saying. I was waiting for your response. Sorry.
Oh, right. Oh, no, I disagree. I think it's going to have a good opening weekend, but I don't think it's going to... Because I think it's going to track under what the expectations were, but I think it's still going to be a lot. It's not going to be Shazam 2 all over again, you know?
No, it won't be that bad.
Nah,
it won't be that bad.
Definitely not.
No,
it's going to do
no.
better than the second one, I think, but not as good as the first, I would probably say.
And
somewhere in the middle.
And honestly, logic would dictate that you'd probably be right. Because Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 are pretty beloved, even among MCU films. And then, because you have that momentum of people who don't follow all the controversies and be like, oh, I liked Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. Let's go see the third one. And there's, like, these are the people...
favor the first one more, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's what I generally hear.
Yeah, the first one was... And honestly, the holiday special was really good. It was way better than it had any right to be.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's all I'll say. That's my opinion on it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's all.
Oh, there's some spiciness hidden on there. All right, let it out. Let it rip. Tell us how you really feel.
No, honestly, I don't want to sit and shit on anything. Like, it has its audience, and I'm glad they enjoy it. But oh my god, I did not enjoy it.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
But then again, like, Gunn's not... It's not my kind of director. Like, I don't like his sort of writing style. I don't like his directorial style. I don't like his jokes and stuff like that.
I'm not either.
I'm not
either. Like, he's way too vulgar. He's way too juvenile. But the thing is, when James Gunn actually tries, he can actually do good stuff. Like, I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy shows he can do good work when he really wants to. But the problem is James Gunn at his base level, he just relies too much on crude, juvenile humor, too much cursing. This is why I refuse to watch Peacemaker, because Peacemaker just looks really bad, and it's just basically James Gunn shitting upon the DC universe for 8 episodes.
Well, he's gonna shit on it tomorrow, isn't he?
I mean, as well, another thing too, the way I see James Gunn, James Gunn's Superman, it's not going to be relatable. So it's like,
oh, you don't want to give him a hug?
No. He's saying he's going to be all these things, but like, all right, real talk is speaking. So go ahead, Taladia.
I was going to say that the fact that like the way I see it is that the Superman he wants to do is something like what Christopher Reeves did back in the 1970s and 80s, right? But whereas what Henry Cavill did, we were related to him. There's consequences for every actions that he did. So it was like something that, you know, I feel that I was more relatable to Henry Cavill's Superman than they may be possible to what James Gunn is doing. That's what I'm worried about. So
Okay, you can go the nostalgic route. Michael Keaton, Batman on the Flash, is a perfect example of that. But when you play too much into nostalgia, that's actually going to bite you in the bum. And I feel like, as of now, we don't know the full details, but as of now, James Gunn is taking the opposite approach to what Snyder did with using post-crisis material, but instead is using pre-crisis material to bank on as much nostalgia and campiness as possible. And I just don't think that it's going to work for him.
All right, Mama Bear, I need you to kind of explain this comment about Christopher Reeves being a bit wasn't a big old galoot. Because Christopher Reeve, for I'd say at least 2 generations, was the quintessential Superman, and even now he is still looked upon very favorably. So like
he's up there. He's up there.
Well, I think what Mama Bear is referring to is the fact that Gunn said that Superman was a big old galoot.
I don't even know what's that word mean.
That's an old term. That is an old term.
Yes, it's a very old term.
Yeah.
It speaks like it's from the 1600s.
Not that
It
far.
means to be like clumsy and
oafish.
Oafish, yeah. But it's more of like an insult than anything else. Like you wouldn't really use galoot in an endearing way.
So Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent was all that stuff.
Yes.
But that was that like literally that was his disguise. You know, because like because like people talking about like, oh, Superman hiding behind the glasses, like it's not as much the glasses. It's the way that Clark acts. Like there's like this where Clark kind of hunched over. He acts very clumsy. Like basically he acts in a certain way, or someone even suggests that Clark Kent is Superman. Clark Kent? That guy couldn't even open a bottle of pickles. What makes you think he's Superman?
Isn't there a scene in like was it Superman 1 or 2 where like Lois is getting ready and then he sort of like straightens up, like he's about to tell her that he's Superman and that. So like it's an act. It's an act.
I
so,
would
like,
play you that
if
clip,
you
but I would get
genuinely,
copyright struck.
yeah, definitely. So if you genuinely believe that Superman is honestly a galoot, I don't even know the word. Then yeah, you just don't understand Superman. Like,
yeah, there's actually
on the face of it, really. Good luck writing your movie.
Yeah, I know there's like a picture where it's like 2 different Alex Ross pictures where they show like Clark Kent and Superman. It shows like the difference in like the personality and whatnot between them. I'm trying to dig it up right now, but I can't find it. But yeah, it's more than just the glasses, and like I know that people like for example, see, I don't look any different, you know, like. Oh no! You can't. Oh no! Like,
no, but the whole purpose of the glasses, like, because remember this is comics, not real life.
Mm-hmm.
So in comics, when he wears glasses, people don't recognize him because of the curly hair and the bump, the way he acts, right? But in Zack Snyder's universe, he feels like in some aspects like responsible to do different things, right? Like for example, reporting on the Batman, right? He went against the editor's wishes because the editor wanted to in BVS.
We don't need Clark Kent going up against the Batman. I'm sorry, that was genius writing. That was genius writing.
No, but I just think that the way Henry Cavill's Superman was going to be, like the way he wanted to do it is like he wanted to flesh out the character to do a more hopeful Superman, then obviously do the anti-life equation Superman, then get obviously the redemption, which would have been really epic. But I still think doing ZSJL 2 and 3 can still be good for him in terms of the way you could tell the character Clark's going downfall, going to the anti-life equation, coming back, and furthermore, what is the repercussions for what the actions that he did when he was under the anti-life equation.
Exactly.
So I would love to.
I still want that Man of Steel too.
Yeah, I do too.
I do too. So, do you guys feel like wrapping this up? Because like we've kind of been going for a little while. I'm sure you guys got to do some stuff.
Yeah, we can
So yeah,
do.
Yeah, we
Sure.
can do, sure.
all
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So Snyder Queen. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts are I really enjoyed this event. I thought it was a great celebration of everything that the fan base and that Zach and his cast and crew and friends and family have all achieved. I don't believe it's the end. I believe there's still something cooking. I believe Zach wants us to continue fighting for this. So I'm going to be continuing fighting for it. Hashtag sell SnyderVerse to Netflix.
Yep. And then if you guys like what you see, I do stream every week, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Friday Night Frenzy. Snyder Queen, you're more than welcome to join me this week if you want. You know, that's an invitation. You don't have to confirm or deny, you know, whatever. And then yeah, Jay Heat, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is anything is possible. Never say never. This was a great event. We made a good cause, but given the corporate side of things and how Hollywood operates, it could go either way. It just depends whether or not a deal can even be made at all in negotiations. But hey, anything is possible.
Yep. Teledia, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is that this event was amazing. This event obviously, you know, shows that there's engagement there. We know that the directors, the people that work behind the scenes, to the actors, they're all invested into the Snyderverse. The fans want it. So hashtag sell SnyderVerse to Netflix. Hashtag sell ZSGL to Netflix. Remember to use those hashtags and remember to tag Netflix on Twitter.
Yes. So my final thoughts are, it's not over. We need to keep fighting. I certainly believe some stuff is happening down there, and this is not the end. We're basically in the middle of the game, and I think we will win. Before we go, if you guys could humor me for just a moment, I wanted to kind of briefly kind of give a little bit of promo to my comic, 2100 Samurai, which I need to actually make sure I'm doing
Awesome.
audio. Yeah, so that's launching on Jared's channel this Friday. Here's
Nice.
the link. If it's okay with you guys, I'd like to play the teaser for you real quick. It's like 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, Cyberpunk. That's awesome.
Yep. So issue 3 of 2100 Samurai will be going live on Friday, like I said, and then you can take this link to sign up, and you'll be notified. We'll be launching it live on Jared's channel at 12:30 p.m. EST. The stream will be starting at noon, and then yeah, I just figured this is literally the biggest stream I've ever done. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity to give myself a little bit of promo. You know, like it's the end of the stream. I just spent 2 hours talking about Snyder stuff. I don't think anyone would fault me for giving myself a little promo. You know,
Nah, girl, get your bag.
that pretty much. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. That was actually done by me, by the way. I'm the one who edited that trailer. So a little pat on
That's
my back.
cool.
Yep, so this is issue 3 of Torrent Samurai. The artist is doing an amazing job. Like, oh dear God, it's so good. Yeah. And so hopefully, please sign up, and then I'll be launching it live, and yeah. So I just wanted to thank everybody for coming. This is the biggest stream I've ever done. So thank you guys. Thank you, Snyder Queen, for bringing them all here. It's because you're so awesome that they're here. So you're the reason this is possible. So thank you for that. And
No. Thank you. Thank you.
no,
for having me
literally.
on. Nah, they came for the Snyder. They
Oh,
didn't come for
oh,
me.
They came for their queen.
Before we end, we have the artist that does what's it called, Mikey stuff for DreamWalker, says he loves samurai. So he
you might want to check out my
is
comment.
that
Noel Lauren
Noel Leon
yes,
Florence?
yes. He's in my chat right now.
So if you want to check out
Noel's
Samurai,
awesome.
so Torrent Samurai is currently available. Issues 1 and 2 are available on Global Comics, Webtoon, and Amazon. So if you want to check out those places, 2100 Samurai. Let me just kind of put that in the chat. That's the name of the series. All right.
I will say, as well, speaking on Noel, we've got some surprises coming from him soon, so
Yes.
So yeah.
dropping them soon.
All right. So I'll just say my final words. Thank you everyone for coming, and as always, remember, I can only show you the door. You're the ones to walk through it.
Wonderbat.
Wonderbat. All right, see you guys later. Peace.